Hi, welcome back to another session of Intuition Nutrition, the mini-series. I'm so excited to have you, Tonia, here. This is Tonia Shump. She is a coach. She helps women entrepreneurs in all different aspects of their businesses and lives. And I know firsthand, Tonia, because if you remember, I had a nice 1-hour consult with you. And anyone who's watching, I can tell you she's the real deal. She really nailed issues that I needed to focus on and really motivated me to get moving and even brought me to tears. We laughed, we cried, it was the whole thing. So Tonia, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so sweet. And I love that you invited me to be a part of your summit with all these fabulous women.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. It's like, what gift could I give? You know, because we hear so many great things, and then we end up like with Post-it notes and folders and like this should list or to-do list.
Right. A mile long.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm always working with women, and I said, we should never should on ourselves,
Exactly. That's what we end up doing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then because it's, what's our inspired action when we really tune into like who we are, how can we be our best essential self?
Yep.
And and who we are, because it makes us the happiest and most energetic. And I think when we step away from those qualities, then I turn into the impatient mom. I was a single parent of mom, like to 3 boys while running a business and starting a business from the ground up and all of that. So I know when I'm not taking care of me, they get the impatient, grouchy mom.
I know. I'm right there with you. Totally. That's when I think, okay, I need to stop, focus on this because this is the problem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And then, and with my fiance too, I look at it and going, okay, if I'm not taking care of me, then I'm running on my fumes. It's like I'm running on fumes. Mm-hmm. And I hear women say like, are you kidding? I don't do anything for my husband. There's nothing left to give him.
No. And that's going to be the root of a lot of problems with marriages.
Yeah.
They get, both husbands and wives probably get too busy to really focus on each other.
Yep. Yeah. I know that was one of the things I took away from my previous marriage. It's like, oh, what could I have done differently? But
that's good.
But going back to like what works for women is like when we're tapping into our essential self, and then what I call it the Queen's Owner Manual. As much as we would have like an owner manual for our Mercedes or, whatever it may be, the car we're driving, we have an owner's manual that tells us how to take care of it. But for a lot of women, it's like we don't have those things. Yes. Of if I'm feeling off balance or like not healthy, you've given so many great ideas in all these videos of things we can do. And how do we write that down, or how do we incorporate it into our owner's manual, how to take care of it so that we run well?
That's wonderful.
And then so the Queen's Owner Manual, and I'm going to send it to you in a colorful PDF so that they can download it right underneath your YouTube video.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. See, I knew having you as the last guest was going to be a nice way to wrap things up.
Yeah, thanks. So when we take this worksheet, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the qualities. And the way I ask women is, if you could give these qualities to your family, or you could give them the people that are closest to you, what qualities would you want them to have? Because typically that same answer is the ones that help us run the best. Like whether it's the gift of health or generosity or happiness. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, because we project what we want for ourselves on others.
Yep. Yeah. So if it were, for example, the gift of happiness, so you would take that quality and you would write happiness. And do you want me to tell you how I did this exercise, and then you can do one for the people watching?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the quality of happiness, I know that when I'm happier, then, like I said, it's my boys don't get the impatient mom. My fiance doesn't get the crabby one.
Yeah.
So for the quality of happiness, it's created by, time in nature, anything outdoors, that I love. It's getting enough sleep so that I'm not the grumpy one.
Yes.
And then also time alone. And then, so that's what it's created by. That's in the second column in this workbook. And then the next one is the activity of what activities can women do to help incorporate these things. And so you do this for each of your qualities, whether it's health, whether it's, for health might be the quality, the activity might be eating healthier, or it might be exercising and then going to the gym. So after you get the activity, then you take in the fourth column, the amount, which is how often do you need that thing?
Right.
So going to the beach is, I need that like 3 times a month. If I haven't seen the ocean, I know I'm feeling a little bit off or whatever it may be.
Right.
Or for my quality of wisdom, I might notice that if I'm feeling off balance or, unwell, that maybe I haven't been reading as much. So it's going back to like, what is the amount? How often do you need? And for me, I need to read like 5 or 6 times a week. Like I need to,
yeah, that's good.
I'm always reading. So it's that, or it's, so what is it? And then the last one is the taken by of how are you depleted of this quality? So using my example of happiness, how is it taken by? And typically, this one's kind of embarrassing, but I'll say it anyways.
Okay.
Is, insert the name of someone that makes you really unhappy or upsets you easily.
Yes.
So taken by, and I could think of someone's name that, kind of sets me off, or if I'm not watching my boundaries or enforcing those, or if I'm overextending myself, those are the ways that my happiness are taken. So if I have to see, a certain person, I might spend time refueling myself and doing all of these things to take really good care of my happiness before I have to see them. So that way, I'm not running on fumes, and then the slightest thing will set me off.
That's so wise. It's so true. I mean, there are people that deplete you I should say about me, instantly. I'm like,
yeah. Yep.
Good to know.
And then so many times when I talk to women, it's, what would make you happy? Or, have you thought about self-care? And which I know that word, it seems to be almost overused, but, self-care
kind of a buzzword.
Yeah, but what does it really mean of when you're stepping into your essential self? And it means you can be your happiest and most energetic self.
Right.
That as opposed to being, okay, I'm so exhausted, there's nothing left. But instead the opposite of I'm so energetic, because you can pick up your Queen's Owner's Manual, and say, this is how I operate. This is what I need. Maybe I haven't done this in a week, or maybe I haven't meditated as much as I need to or want to, or journaled as much. So, and I know like with seeing all these videos and the videos that I've watched, and it's like, okay, I think about this one, and what could I do and how could I incorporate more of that?
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. What a great activity.
Yeah. So, do you want to, does that make sense? Or do you have questions about what I was saying?
It makes perfect sense. It's like taking something that I think inherently I try to do, but never organized it this way. And it organizes it. So yeah, I love it. I'd love to do one. Sure.
Yeah. Because otherwise then we end up with all of these.
Right. Yeah. And that can be overwhelming and frustrating in itself to just have a bunch of sticky notes everywhere.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So do you want to try one?
Sure. I'll try one.
Okay.
Okay. So, but I do have a question. The quality, is it a quality that I want from others or that I want for myself?
That you want for yourself.
Okay.
So if you were being the best version of you, what is one of the qualities that you would be?
Okay. Well, I would say the best version of me is very patient. And so that quality of patience is created by, because I'm looking at the columns that you had me write down before we called. The quality of patience is created by things that I need to do for myself to feel centered and balanced. And that specifically is journaling, doing yoga, and meditation. That magical 3 is it's like a super vitamin for me.
Nice. Great. And then so if you were to do yoga, go to the amount part, how many times a week would you need that?
Well, if it's just the morning routine of, a couple of like maybe 5 sun salutations, I would need that 5 to 6 times a week. If it's a full-on yoga class, like an hour and a half long of Bikram or Ashtanga, then it would be maybe twice a week. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I guess that covers the activity as well, right? The created by and
It
the
did.
activity.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And then the created by, and then the taken by is there any, is there any one or thing that you could see that takes away your patience?
Yes. Often it's my patience is taken easily when I feel overextended. And then like you mentioned, if I see certain people in my life that maybe don't respect my boundaries or just even sometimes my children, which, and I love my children like as much as any parent or even more.
Yeah.
But, kids are kids. And so if I'm not taking care of myself, then of course my patience is diminished.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then the good thing about having something like this written down, and you could even tuck it in the journal that you were talking about, because when you start to see that, I'm being impatient with my children, what's something that I can do to refuel myself? Like, can I take, 15 minutes for a bath, or can I do that? I don't think I took a bath the first 5 years that my children were born.
That's so true.
It was always a fast shower.
I know, while they were sleeping. And
exactly.
And the irony of it is that when I know I need to do my morning routine, it's usually first thing in the morning, the kids will often be like, "Mom, are you almost done? Are you almost done? Are you almost done? Why do you have to write? Come on, I want to do this, I want to do that." And so I start to feel a little bit like Mommy needs her me time. So then I realize I have to get up earlier to take care of it. And I always come back to that place. Like, okay, I'm going to set my alarm, get up a little earlier while they're sleeping. Then I can be calm and do it with, with real determination and then have the patience that I need to deal with the rest of the day. So.
Yep. And then some of that too, like setting up the boundaries with the children, our children, and my other home office I had right now, it's an open loft, but when I had the dedicated room to it, that I had a sign on my door that said, "Do not interrupt unless there's a knife, gun, or fire."
Yeah. That's
great. Because it's, like I said, do you want the really best version of me, or do you want the monster mom? Yeah, because even though we would die for our children and give them everything, it's what's the balance of that?
Exactly.
Like I said, I had that note on the outside of my door because I'm like, okay, boys, like what you think's an emergency to you is not necessarily one to me. And it wasn't all the time, almost always working at home, the door could be open, but there were times where I just need to shut it and say,
Yeah, exactly. Like right now, my kids are home and one of them even has a friend over, but they know they have to stay upstairs and, they're being really great about it. So
yeah. Yep.
Well, Tonia, this is
sweet.
This is a really wonderful guide. And I hope that everybody watching takes a moment to download the PDF because I can tell you just working through it right now out loud makes me go, okay. And I feel so much more centered. Like it reinforces what you think you probably already know, but I know that it will help. So thank you, Tonia.
Yeah. And then just go through it with, and fill out about 8 qualities or something like that, just so you have something that will help ground you. And then, and I'll give you the instructions. My email will be on there too if you have any questions, but I'll send that to you so that they can download it really quick. It's a nice way to help keep us balanced and incorporate all the great things that you've put together.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much. Can you tell people where they can find you in case they want to find more information?
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Where they can find me is my website is ToniaShump.com, and they can reach out to even do a one-on-one strategy session. I'll do that for any of your guests that watch this, and we could do an initial strategy session together. But you can find me there. You can find me on the Facebook at ToniaShump.com too.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, I really urge you all to check her out because Tonia is just amazing to work with. And I've been so blessed to have you be a part of my growth. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this has been such a really fun time putting together all these little mini interviews with everyone. So thank you all for tuning in. And if you want to catch any more episodes, Intuition Nutrition, you can find them at my website, jenniferhill.me, or at www.ppmtvnh.org. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.